Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Imagination Megapark. Now, in the last episode I worked on this space themed area over here in the science station, and today I'm going to work on this area right next to it, and over here I'm going to add a pair of coasters. Or well, it's actually one coaster, but it will have a vehicle both on top and below the track. So that will be very interesting to build. Now, I've built a coaster like this before in previous parks, and it was always pretty finicky to do, as I would have to make a pair of dueling coasters and sync them up correctly. And at some point in the track they would always desynchronize. But nowadays, with the power of shoestringing or right vehicle editing, I should say, it will be a piece of cake. So the most time consuming part today will be making a nice support structure for the coaster. Now, before I start building, let's first name a few more handymen after commenters on my last video. Alright, here you see the new handyman additions to the park. So if you also want to become a handyman in the park, just leave some fun and interesting comments, and you might find yourself sweeping vomit in my park. Alright, with the handyman named, I can now start working on this new coaster. Alright, here you can see what you can do with a little bit of vehicle editing. So now it looks like there's trains both on top and below the track. I think this looks really cool, and it's definitely a lot easier if you can just edit some of the ride vehicles. Especially since these inverted vehicles, when you change one of these sit-down vehicles to an inverted vehicle, it already immediately sits below the track. Now it does look a little bit glitchy in these loops, but I think I can accept this. Well, yeah, the way this looks. Now, what I cannot accept is how the vehicle below the track just traverses through all these supports. So for that, I'm going to have to make custom supports for the entire track. So yeah, I think that's the thing I'm going to do next, since that will be one of the most time-consuming parts of building this coaster. Alright, the support work for this coaster is done. Now this took me quite a long time to do all these supports. It can be pretty finicky to do, and it's not helped by the isometric view, which actually made it quite a bit more difficult. But I managed to do these supports. Now I tried to make it look like these supports connect to the track from the side. So yeah, some parts the supports actually look like they're a bit above the track. And mostly I tried to make them look like they're a bit below the track. But yeah, it was not always possible to get it perfectly right. But I think this is about the best I can do with these supports. I think it still looks really good. Okay, with these supports done, I still need to make a station for the ride. A nice queue as well. So I'll probably just make a queue that goes on the catwalk in between this the area of this coaster. And I'll probably make some decorative buildings in between this coaster. Okay, I've added the final decorations around the ride. So you can just see a few of these towers, these machinations, which you also see in a smaller scale around here. Yeah, I just connected them with several pipes across the floor here. And I think that that's enough decoration for this area. All in all, together with these supports, I think that just looks incredibly cool. Now we also have a queue here. It's just pretty simple. Just put some invisible queue here. Just with some concrete flooring for the guests to stand on. Just put some of these fences around it. And also some of these queue line TVs. Now I don't really use them a lot. But I think in this area they yeah, they just look like they're a part of the theming. So I think they work pretty well here. Now I also made a queue a station for the ride, which you can see over here. Just your typical metal building. Now at some point during building I realized I cannot actually have a floor right under the track, because we also have a vehicle under the track. So yeah, I just extended the height of it a little bit. So now the car actually has two floors to go on. Now I guess won't actually go to the bottom part. I haven't actually made any paths here, but it's all not visible to people anyway. So you'll just have to imagine that guests also walk to the lower vehicles. Now as for the top of the building, I just gave it two colors, so red and blue. I put these same colors here on the entrance and exit of the building, also on the doors here. And I think that just goes well with the theme of this ride. And I called this ride Proton Electron. Well, yeah, I cannot really put many more characters, so I guess the top one is called Proton, the positive charge, and the bottom one is Electron with the negative charge. I was also considering names like Matter and Antimatter, but in the end I decided to go with Proton and Electron. So yeah, those will be the names of this pair of rides. Now I've also added an entertainer to the roof of this station, so I will quickly name him after one of my patrons. Right, Slime, thank you for supporting me on Patreon, it's really appreciated. And also thanks a lot for commenting on almost every video. It really helps out my channel. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy your spot here on top of this building next to this awesome ride. Now, if you also want to support me on Patreon, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description. And then you will also make your way to the park as an entertainer. Alright, that's going to be all the building I'm going to do for this episode. I'm super happy with how this ride turned out. I think it will be fun to end this video with a ride on this new coaster. Right, if you enjoyed watching me build, don't forget to like this video. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can always subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.